Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 2 of the challenge. And some of you have already sent in your diaries to me already, sending me in day 1. This is super awesome. And again, for your first couple weeks, really, I am giving you a little more flexibility. In your email, it says to be within 10% of your macros. For your first, that would be great, by the way. For your first week, I am obviously going to give you a little bit more leniency when it comes to your numbers, especially the first couple days, because you're just learning things. I am really going to give you the whole week. What's more important to me at this point are food choices over amounts. And obviously amounts matter, okay? It matters how much you eat. It doesn't matter what it is. But what you eat matters more to me. So I want to remind you again, eat real whole foods, and I'll elaborate on that in a second, because I know some people didn't necessarily know exactly what that meant. But really, again, these are foods that have had little to no processing done, okay? And it's not to say that all processed foods are bad, but definitely if you're sticking with foods that have had minimal to no processing, then chances are you are getting food that is going to be much more satiating, okay? And this is important, obviously, satiating and voluminous to help keep you full and crave less. But also you're gonna get more nutrient dense food, because generally speaking, the reason why processing, again, not all processing is bad, but a lot of processing, a lot of foods that are processed are, quote, bad, is because there is nutrients stripped and there is junk added in, okay? So just keep this in mind. So real whole foods, fruits and vegetables. This would include even frozen fruits and vegetables. I don't really have an issue with that. I don't see an issue with it. So that would be okay. All your fresh meats, okay? Fresh fish, fresh poultry, eggs. Yes, cottage cheese and yogurt. Obviously there's something going on. That's not just straight from an animal or from the ground or whatever. But those would be acceptable as well. That would be minimally processed. Powders are okay, just don't live off of them, okay? Having 1, maybe 2 smoothies a day, that's a great way to increase your protein intake, but certainly don't live off of them, okay? I want you to think about, again, real whole foods. When it comes to your fats, nuts are great, avocados are great. Certain foods that are, extractions like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, macadamia nut oil, these would all be acceptable oils. Stay away from seed oils, things like your canola oil, your sunflower oil, your safflower oils. What else? Soybean oil, stay away from those. If you're unsure, ask me, okay? But again, everything that goes in, I want you to think about what it is that you're eating, where it falls into your diet in terms of, is it a protein strong food, a fat strong food, a carbohydrate strong food, which, by the way, I'm recording on my phone, of course I can't show you. Just plug it in your app and then click on it and just see what the breakdown of it is. See how many grams of protein, fat, and carbohydrates you're getting. Of course, look at the serving size, right? There's going to be serving size and serving amount in MyFitnessPal. Take note of both these things, but ultimately get acquainted with what foods contain what. And of course, in your manual on page 33, starting on page 33, 34, 35, a non-exhaustive list of different protein strong, carbohydrate strong, and fat strong foods. So please take a look at that, okay? Cardio, a couple questions on cardio. Please check out, if you have any questions, first and foremost, make sure you go to page 11, and it does tell you what to do for your cardio in detail, okay? In detail. So take a look at that. If you're not sure about what to do with your cardio, of course, you can always write to me, that's fine. I did get a couple people writing me saying, either they didn't get their numbers that I sent out and or they can't sign into Zen Planner. So generally speaking, if you are getting some emails from us, okay, so for example, let's just say you've got all your emails, but you do a password reset on Zen Planner and you don't get that password reset, the email is correct, okay? So long as you're using the email that you gave us, you're not using something different. Then that email is correct that we have in the system. Likewise, if you didn't get the macro email, but you're getting the other emails, okay, some emails from Zen Planner, we do have your correct email. So chances are, if you don't get the Zen Planner password reset, or you don't get the macro email, then chances are it's going to your junk folder or your spam folder, okay? So look in both of those folders, junk email, spam email. I do know somebody who didn't get it, and I sent it twice and still didn't get it, so we just changed the email address, and now she's getting it. So I don't know what's going on in that case. All right, I'm at 7 minutes here, just about. One other thing I just want to say, listen, I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I have to do this because people ask me questions many times, and I've already given you the answer many times. So, and this is just the way it goes. It's not a knock on anybody. It's the way it goes. We're all susceptible to it. We don't hear everything. Page 38, 39, please read through this in detail, okay? Read through it a couple times, seriously, because I guarantee you're going to be doing things like maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're not using verified foods, okay? Now you don't have to use verified foods, but maybe you're not familiar with that, okay? So make sure you try to use verified foods in MyFitnessPal. That's one of the points in here. There's just a lot of tips, tricks, and things I want you to be aware of here, okay? So please check out page 38 and 39 in your manual and become acquainted with what I've written. And if it's written there, there's a very good reason it's written there, okay? Like, point number 1, consistency is numero uno, okay? Consistency is everything. It can get very, very frustrating if you have a couple good days and then you have a day that's way off, okay? Because it can be along the lines of taking a few steps forward and then taking a few steps back, all right? One thing I just want to add, amounts matter, okay? Good food or not, healthy food or not, amounts matter. Amounts matter, and you can think of it as when you go through some calorie deficit, okay? So there's a point, and it's not the same every day because every day is a little bit different. We are dynamic beings. We are doing different things throughout the day. We encounter different things throughout every day is unique, right? But on average, if you are treading in that deficit, that calorie deficit, which you should be on average by the end of this week, if you're treading, unless I've given you different numbers for whatever reason, we have some sort of unique setup for you. If you're trending in that deficit, you're digging each day, okay? And that digging is adding up. You can fill that hole, so to speak, that deficit hole that we're creating every day. You can fill that in a day of, quote, bad eating, okay? So just remember this, all right? Just remember this, because it can become very, very frustrating if you have good days, but then you have days that you are way off, okay? So just be honest with yourself, make sure you log everything, and be as accurate as you can, okay? All right, way too long of a video here because it's almost 10 minutes. Message of the day: if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, now maybe that's I don't know. I mean, I kind of hate saying you plan to fail, but you're not going to do as well, is my point. Okay. You definitely will not do nearly as well if you don't plan out your days that you'll do cardio, if you don't plan out when you're going to do your workouts, and if you don't pre-plan your food, you will not do well. I guarantee you, okay? So it's up to you, okay? It is up to you. It's not for me, all right? So please don't come to me and say, I didn't mean to disappoint you. You don't disappoint me. I do want to see you do well, but it's for you. It's not for me, okay? But I do want to see you do well. And I would like to see results in my challenge, okay? But ultimately, it's up to you to do this, okay? So make sure you pre-plan your food. Real whole foods. Real whole foods. Every time you eat, think real whole foods. Minimally processed foods, okay? Minimally, as minimal fakeness as possible, okay? All right, I'm gonna stop there. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. See you guys.